The story does. I'm not very good at that. I'm like,
I'll let you guys.
serious?
Good evening. We will call the meeting for Monday, August 15th, 2022 to order. We will start with a land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge the federally recognized Muckleshoot Indian Tribe, the ancestral keepers of the land we are gathered on today. We thank them for their immense contributions to our state and local history, culture, economy, and identity as Washingtonians. For public participation, the Auburn City Council meeting scheduled for today will be held both in person and virtually. If you would all please rise in the room and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And Hannah, will you please call roll?
Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
I'm here.
Councilmember Baggett.
Here.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Excused.
Councilmember Malinga.
Here.
Councilmember Stearns.
Here.
Councilmember Trout Manuel.
Excused. All right. We will begin tonight with a mayor's proclamation. I will move over to the podium for this proclamation. This is Mayor's Proclamation. Whereas the International Overdose Awareness Day is a global event held on the 31st of August each year and aims to raise awareness of overdose and reduce the stigma of a drug-related death. It also acknowledges the grief felt by families and friends, remembering those who have died or had a permanent injury because of drug overdose. And whereas addiction touches people of all backgrounds, despite race, religion, educational, or social class, people from all walks of life have suffered from substance abuse or known someone who has. And whereas in Auburn, law enforcement and first responders have the authority to carry and administer the life-saving drug naloxone. Our medical professionals and police officers continue to provide aid to combat the opioid overdose epidemic. And whereas since 2016, drug overdoses have increased. Our officers have responded to 109 incidents where naloxone was administered. Our medical professionals and police officers continue to provide aid to combat the opioid overdose. Sadly, 2022 appears to be continuing in the same rate of administering naloxone 19 times. Whereas it is important to recognize the signs of someone struggling with substance abuse, as such person will often have personality changes, health problems, relationship problems, difficulty at work, and financial hardships. Whereas the people who suffer from substance abuse are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and friends to many, and it is up to the community to make strides to reduce the stigma associated with substance use, to bring about education and healing. And whereas now therefore Nancy Backus, Mayor of the City of Auburn, do hereby proclaim August 31st, 2022 as International Overdose Awareness Day in the City of Auburn, and I encourage all citizens to come together to observe this day and encourage residents to be part of the solution and help spread the message that tragic overdose deaths are preventable. Dated this 15th day of August, 2022. All right, we will move to appointments. First appointment, Salary Commission. City Council to approve the appointment of George Frazier to the Salary Commission for a 4-year term to expire December 31st, 2025. Do we have a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I move that we I move to approve the appointment of George Frazier to the Salary Commission for a 4-year term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Baggett.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin, is there anything that you would like to share on this?
Sure. Just that I think George Frazier and his roles with Green River College and serving and the board of the Auburn Symphony will be a great addition to our Salary Commission.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the appointment of George Frazier to the Salary Commission, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries unanimously. Next appointment is to the Transportation Board. City Council to approve the appointment of Ina Robinson to the Transportation Advisory Board, serving as the Chamber of Commerce member for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2024. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baldwin.
I move to approve the appointment of Ina Robinson to the Transportation Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2024.
Thank you. Is there a second? Deputy Mayor Jayrosh.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Baldwin, is there any comment on this appointment?
None at this time.
All right. Are there any questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the appointment of Ina Robinson to the Transportation Advisory Board, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes unanimously. Final appointment to the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. City Council to approve the reappointments of Andy Cho and Susan Roberts to the Lodging and Tax Advisory Committee for 3-year terms to expire on December 31st, 2024. Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the reappointments of Andy Cho and Susan Roberts to the Lodging and Tax Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Stearns.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Jayraj, any comments on the
Thank you, Your
appointments?
Honor. Andy Cho and Susan Roberts have done a great job being on the advisory committee. I would recommend them being on it for another 3 years. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from council? All right. All those in favor of the reappointments of Andy Cho and Susan Roberts to the Lodging and Tax Advisory Committee, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries unanimously. Hannah, do we have any agenda modifications this evening?
No, we do not, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we will move to audience participation. This is the place on the agenda where the public is invited to speak to the City Council on any issue. The public can provide comments in person or submit written comments in advance of the scheduled meeting. Participants can submit written comments via mail, fax, or email. All written comments must be received prior to 5 p.m. on the day of the scheduled meeting and must be 350 words or less. You may mail written comments to City of Auburn, attention Sean Campbell, City Clerk, 25 West Main Street, Auburn, Washington, 98001. You may fax comments to attention Sean Campbell, City Clerk, at 253-804-3116, or email written comments to publiccomment@auburnwa.gov. If an individual requires an accommodation to allow for remote oral comment because of a difficulty attending a meeting of the governing body, the city requests notice of the need for accommodation by 5 p.m. on the day of the scheduled meeting. Participants can request an accommodation to be able to provide remote oral comment by contacting the city clerk's office in person, by phone at 253-931-3039, or email to publiccomment@auburnwa.gov. I don't believe we had any written comments for this evening, so we will open it up to in-person comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and please limit comments to 3 minutes.
Haugen, 2503 R Street, Southeast, 98002. Several weeks ago, I called 911 to get help for a very thin woman, about 34 years old, who was walking north on R Street, Southeast toward Orovitz Road and Lakeland Hills. A very polite Auburn police officer responded. The lady was disoriented and looking for a bus stop. Thank you to the Auburn Police Department and the polite young man who responded. He let me know that he was wearing a body cam, and those are a great idea. Protect both sides. Thanks also to the 911 operator who helped me, and a stranger on a very hot day in Auburn. She was in big trouble, I knew it, and to have an Auburn police officer there to help that lady, and he was great. Talk about professional, and I've already spoken with this police officer over here, who I believe is taking the chief of police department's place tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak tonight? Final time, is there anyone else that would like to speak? All right, we will move on. We have no correspondence for council review tonight. Moving to council ad hoc committee chairs may report on the status of their ad hoc council committee's progress on assigned tasks and may give their recommendation to the city council, if any. First tonight is the finance ad hoc committee, and that is chaired by Councilmember Baggett.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Council Ad Hoc Finance Committee, consisting of Councilmember Baldwin and myself, reviewed 2022 claims vouchers encompassing 203 pages, totaling $10.3 million, and they were dated July 27th for $4.3 million and August 10th for $6.0 million. The committee also reviewed payroll vouchers for the period of July 14th through July 27th, 2022, for $2.9 million, and for the period of July 28th through August 10th for $2.5 million, for a grand total of $5.4 million. All questions by the committee for the Finance Department were answered to the committee's satisfaction, and upon completion of our review, the committee recommends council approval of these vouchers. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Rules of Procedure Ad Hoc Committee chaired by Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Council Rules of Procedure Ad Hoc Committee consists of council members Larry Brown, Kate Baldwin, and myself. We have met on July 29th of 2022. We have another meeting scheduled for August 19th. We will bring the final draft of the council rules on August the 29th study session for discussion and a final vote during City Council meeting on September the 6th, 2022. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we will move to the consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered by the City Council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Do we have a motion? Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Councilmember Baldwin.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move the consent agenda for this evening consists of the minutes of July 11th and August 8th, 2022 City Council study session, July 18th, 2022 regular City Council meeting, claims and payroll vouchers as described by Councilmember Baggett and recommended by the Finance Committee. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The consent agenda passes. All right, we will move on. We have no unfinished business. I believe we do have new business this evening. Deputy Mayor Jayraj?
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to add a resolution on behalf of the City Council for September the 12th study session that states the Auburn City Council supports an individual's right to comprehensive reproductive health care, including access to abortion. The City Council supports marriage equality, and we seek to support these protections and rights through Washington state and federal legislation action. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Stearns.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
This resolution protects the 14th Amendment and for the rights of women's health care and LGBTQ rights and marriage equality. So that is important for all of us, and we need to have a discussion on it at the next study session.
Will be at the September 12th study session, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Our next study session is on the 29th, but that is more, that one is taken up by the Council Rules of Procedure.
Yes, it is.
Yes. All right. Are there any questions or comments from council? All those in favor of the motion to add to the September 12th study session a discussion for a resolution on human rights, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to ordinances. Ordinance number 6868, an ordinance amending the Auburn City Code, Chapter 10.42, related to the use of automated traffic safety cameras to detect traffic violations. Do we have a motion? Councilmember Stearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move to adopt ordinance 6868.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Councilmember Baggett.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilmember Stearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. The existing code regulates the use of traffic safety cameras to detect traffic violations. Several sections of the code adopt state regulations by reference. Since the city's enactment of Chapter 10.42 in 2005, a number of its adopted RCW sections have changed, leaving Chapter 10.42 with outdated or incorrect RCW references. The code changes made with this ordinance corrects these references.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All right, all those in favor of ordinance number 6868, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6868 passes. Ordinance number 6876, an ordinance relating to fee codes and amending Chapter 5.10, Sections 5.15.020, 5.15.090, 5.20.010, and 5.30.030 of the Auburn City Code. Is there a motion? Councilmember Stearns.
I move to adopt ordinance number 6876.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilmember Malinga.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilmember Stearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ordinance 6876 amends the city's business license regulations so that they are consistent with Washington state requirements for transitioning several business license functions over to the Washington State Department of Revenue's Business License Services.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? All right. All those in favor of ordinance number 6876, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ordinance number 6876 passes. Resolution number 5670, a resolution authorizing the mayor to convey a utility easement to Puget Sound Energy on a portion of city-owned property, King County parcel number 264800010. Do we have a motion? Is there a motion? Deputy Mayor Jayraj?
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 5670.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Councilmember Malinga.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. Resolution 5670, granting of a utility easement over a portion of the city-owned property at no cost to PSE for the benefit of the Auburn School District. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All right. All those in favor of resolution number 5670, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Resolution 5670 passes. Resolution number 5677, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a restrictive real property covenant on a portion of city-owned property, King County parcel number 132-104-9005. Is there a motion? Councilmember Baggett.
I move to adopt resolution 5677.
Thank you. Is there a second? Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
I second that motion, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilmember Baggett.
My notes are in my iPad, and it's on the fritz tonight, so I will just read the statement here. The resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a restrictive real property covenant on a portion of city-owned property, King County parcel number 132-104-9005.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from council? All right. All those in favor of resolution number 5677, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say no. Resolution number 5677 passes. All right, we will move to mayor and council member reports. At this time, the mayor and city council may report on significant items associated with their appointed positions on federal, state, regional, and local organizations. We will begin with Deputy Mayor Jayraj.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, we had two ribbon-cutting events since the last council meeting. I would like to report on them. First was on July 29th. We attended a ribbon-cutting at Guardian Roofing, a new business in Auburn. Second was August 3rd. We had a ribbon-cutting at the new Shag building right across the street from City Hall. Both of them were well attended by the public, so that was good that people know where our new businesses are and the new Shag building is. On July the 27th, our mayor and council member Brown and myself attended the SCA Summer Social. It was a good meetup with the leaders from the surrounding cities in a casual atmosphere. And today, I had the privilege of attending the 2022 Korean Liberation Day at the Korean Consulate General in Seattle. It was an honor to read our mayor's proclamation and present it to the first and only female Consul General So Yu-ji in the whole of the United States. This is the 77th year of celebration. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We will go to Councilmember Baldwin.
Thank you, Mayor. I would say my highlight for this particular council report was being able to participate in National Night Out for the City of Auburn. It was fantastic. That's all.
Thank you. Councilmember Baggett.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the city's representative for the public health, I'd like to report that from our Sound Cities Association that as of today, or as of the 12th of August, there are 224 monkeypox cases in King County. This shows a kind of a rise or a trend. We have received about 9,200 doses of vaccine and that are being administered by about 16 different healthcare providers. You may have seen the news that the FDA has approved administering the vaccine via an intradermal method. Our clinicians here in the public health field are finding the new method has allowed us to increase the number of doses in each vaccine vial by about 3, not the 5 that has been reported. The Public Health's Sexual Health Clinic administered 300 vaccines each day last week. While the lines were still long, they are becoming more manageable for staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Stearns.
Thank you, Your Honor. On last Thursday, I attended and chaired the Ryan 9 meeting, and I'm grateful to report that it was our first in-person meeting in 2.5 years, and my second in-person meeting of Ryan 9. We had it at the Duwamish River Community Center, which is right there in South Park in Seattle. And we approved the 2023 budget, and of that I will report that Auburn's share of Ryan 9 is increasing from $28,016 to $29,414, a very modest increase of about $1,400. Thereafter, we walked on over to the Duwamish River People's Park, which is just beautiful, and we saw in the water a big seal, a pit bull, as well as killdeer and a giant osprey nest. So a really, really amazing work that's going on. And there's a huge area where juvenile salmon will be rearing as they prepare to go out to sea. So that was absolutely amazing. And the second thing is that I serve on the state's Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Peoples Task Force. And I'm pleased to report that there have been 4 alerts issued and 4 missing people have been found. So it's working 4 for 4. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilmember Stearns. Councilmember Malinga.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, a few things. I won't go over items that have already been discussed today, but on Monday, August 1st, we, for the first time in about 2.5 years, hosted some South Korean students here in council chambers. There were 12 middle schoolers from South Korea here visiting Buena Vista School for a STEAM Conference or Learning Opportunity, STEAM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. The A in there adds a little bit more to the opportunities for students. It's always fun to entertain them and answer their questions, which were many and varied. And then as our time together ended, they had the wonderful opportunity to go out and visit with some of Auburn's finest police officers. Some of them, I believe, got to see the back of a police car just for fun, and ask questions of our officers. So we are excited to start hosting students again here. National Night Out, I do want to say one more thing. I want to say shout out to Chris Lovings, who did a phenomenal job. First time that he has coordinated this event, and it's been 2 and 3 years since we've had one. And his predecessor, who used to do that, is no longer with us here at the City of Auburn. And so I just want to say a huge thank you to Chris and all of Team Auburn for the great work that they did in ensuring that the neighborhoods who had signed up to be part of National Night Out were visited by at least one group, if not several groups, to listen to their concerns, to talk about what they would like to see in the city, for us to answer questions, and to just interact and get back out with people again. It was a wonderful evening. The weather was perfect, and I do appreciate everyone who participated from the City of Auburn, and also all of the community members who took it upon themselves to be a part of National Night Out. We look forward to an even larger turnout next year, and we just really do appreciate everyone being involved in this. On Friday, August 5th, I attended the Mayor's Innovation Project Conference that was held in Tacoma this year, so it was local, so it was a great opportunity to interact with other mayors. And I had the chance to present on Auburn's anti-homelessness outreach program. It was received very well, and I shared some of the great successes that we are having and the wonderful work that Kent Hay and Matt Landis are doing on behalf of Auburn. Anti-homelessness does not mean we are opposed to people. We are opposed to people being homeless. So really appreciated that opportunity to share the great work that's being done. On Friday, August 11th, the leadership team, many of the managers, the directors, our DEI resource group, and all of HR attended a full day of training out at the Auburn Golf Course that was provided by Tony Neighbors. It was on DEI, some of it on operationalizing DEI efforts. I think it was well received by everyone in attendance, and we look forward to more opportunities. We had to quickly schedule that training because we did want Tony to be here in person, and he is moving his family to Tanzania for the immediate future. So it was very fortuitous that he had time available for us on Thursday. And then just to let you know, Council, the budget meetings, the internal budget meetings for the directors to review budget items will begin this week on the 17th and conclude on the 19th, prior to the meetings that you will have next month to review that budget. That is my report. Hannah, I believe we do not have any reason for an executive or closed session tonight, correct? We are adjourned. Thank you.